Welcome to my channel. Today we're showcasing 10 1-cent United States of America coins. Each coin has its own design, history, and collector value. Details like the year, mint mark, condition, and design decide the real value. Some pennies are common, while others are highly valuable. Let's get started. The 1967 1-cent United States of America coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, is an important and interesting coin in U.S. history. This coin was minted during a time of major economic and social change in America, including the Vietnam War era and rising metal prices. The obverse front of the coin features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which was first introduced on U.S. pennies in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, appear on some earlier pennies but not visibly on the 1967 issue. Lincoln's image represents unity, freedom, and the preservation of the United States, making this coin not just money but a symbol of American values. On the reverse back side, the 1967 penny carries the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. In the center of the memorial, a small statue of Lincoln can actually be seen if the coin is examined closely, making it one of the few U.S. coins to show the same person on both sides. The words, United States of America, appear across the top, 1 cent, is written at the bottom, and the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, is displayed above the memorial. This design symbolizes democracy, unity, and the strength of the American nation. The 1967 1-cent coin was struck using a 95% copper and 5% zinc composition, which was standard for pennies at the time. This gives the coin its familiar reddish-brown color. The coin weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Because copper prices were rising sharply during the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was under pressure to reduce costs, which later led to changes in penny composition in the 1980s. However, the 1967 penny remains a true copper coin, making it popular among collectors today. One very unique feature of the 1967 penny is that no mint mark appears on the coin. During the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins to discourage hoarding and speculation caused by coin shortages. Even though the 1967 penny was produced mainly at the Philadelphia Mint, it does not carry a P mint mark. This policy was in effect from 1965 to 1967, making coins from these years special in U.S. numismatic history. The mintage production number of the 1967 1-cent coin was extremely high, with over 3 billion coins minted. Because of this large production, the coin is still very common in circulation today. Most 1967 pennies are not rare and have low monetary value in circulated condition. However, coins in uncirculated or mint condition, especially those with a bright red copper color, can be worth more to collectors. Coins graded Mississippi 65 or higher by professional grading services may sell for higher prices, depending on condition and eye appeal. Error coins from 1967 are another area of interest for collectors. Some examples include off-center strikes, double die errors, broad strikes, or clipped planchettes. These errors occurred during the minting process and can significantly increase the value of a coin. A normal 1967 penny may be worth only a few cents, but a rare mint error could be worth tens or even hundreds of dollars, depending on the type and severity of the error. Historically, the 1967 penny reflects a period when America was transitioning both economically and culturally. The coin circulated during a time when cash was the primary method of payment, long before digital transactions became common. Millions of Americans used this very coin in their daily lives, buying newspapers, candy, or making small purchases. Today, holding a 1967 penny is like holding a small piece of American history. In conclusion, the 1967 1-cent United States of America coin may appear simple at first glance. But it carries deep historical, cultural, and numismatic significance. From its classic Lincoln portrait and Lincoln Memorial design to its copper composition and missing mint mark, this coin tells a story of its time. While it is not rare, it remains an important collectible for beginners and experienced collectors alike. Whether kept for history, collection, or curiosity, the 1967 penny is a lasting symbol of American heritage. The 1971 1-cent coin of the United States of America, commonly known as the Lincoln penny, is an important part of American numismatic history. This coin was issued during a time when the United States was going through major social, political, and economic changes, including the Vietnam War era and the end of the Bretton Woods monetary system. The 1971 penny continues the long-standing Lincoln cent design that has been in circulation since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the world. The obverse front side of the 1971 1-cent coin features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, appear very small on the shoulder of Lincoln. Above Lincoln's head is the word, Liberty, and to the right is the year, 1971. On the left side, you will see the famous phrase, "In God We Trust," which reflects American values and beliefs. Lincoln was chosen for this coin to honor his role in preserving the Union and abolishing slavery. The reverse back side of the 1971 penny shows the Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C. This design was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Interestingly, if you look very closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, making this coin one of the few U.S. coins that show the same person on both sides. Above the memorial is written, United States of America, and just below it is the motto, E pluribus unum, which means, out of many, one. At the bottom, the denomination, 1 cent, is clearly visible. The 1971 1-cent coin is composed mainly of copper, with a metal composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was before the U.S. Mint switched to copper-plated zinc cents in 1982. Because of its high copper content, the 1971 penny is slightly heavier and more valuable in metal content compared to modern pennies. The coin weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain, smooth edge. These specifications remained standard for many decades. In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 different mint locations. Coins with no mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, coins with a D mint mark were made in Denver, and coins with an S mint mark were produced in San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver mainly produced coins for circulation, while San Francisco focused on proof coins, which were specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish and sharp details. The mintage number of coins produced in 1971 was extremely high, especially at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Billions of pennies were produced to meet everyday circulation needs. Because of this high mintage, most 1971 pennies are not rare and can still be found in circulation today. However, coins that are in uncirculated condition or proof condition can be more valuable to collectors. The value of a 1971 1-cent coin depends heavily on its condition. In circulated condition, most coins are worth only face value, 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, the value may range from 10 cents to 50 cents. Proof coins from San Francisco can be worth $1 to $5, depending on quality. Rare mint errors, such as off-center strikes, double die errors, or coins struck on the wrong planchette, can be worth much more, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars. From a historical point of view, the 1971 penny represents the end of an era of high copper U.S. coins. Just a few years later, rising copper prices forced the U.S. Mint to change the composition of the cent. This makes the 1971 1-cent coin significant not only as currency but also as a symbol of changing economic realities in America. Collectors today appreciate the 1971 Lincoln cent for its classic design, copper content, and historical background. It is often included in Lincoln cent collections and is popular among beginner coin collectors because it is affordable and easy to find. Despite its common nature, it still holds educational and historical value. In conclusion, the 1-cent United States of America coin 1971 is a timeless piece of American history. While it may not be extremely rare, it tells a powerful story of the nation's past, its leadership, its values, and its economy. For collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts, the 1971 penny remains a meaningful and fascinating coin that connects everyday people to America's rich heritage. The 1975 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, belongs to the Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1975, the penny had become an everyday symbol of American currency, widely circulated in commerce, and recognized for its distinctive design featuring Lincoln's profile. The 1970s were a period of social and economic change in the United States, with the coin reflecting continuity in American traditions amidst these shifts. 2. Obverse design, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse front of the 1975 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile faces right, and the words, "In God We Trust," were inscribed along the upper rim, reflecting the national motto adopted in 1956. Below Lincoln's portrait is the word, "Liberty," on the left, and the year, 1975, is inscribed on the right. The overall design emphasizes Lincoln's enduring legacy as the 16th President of the United States. 3. Reverse design, Wheat Years Lincoln Wheat Cent. The reverse side of the 1975 penny showcases the classic Wheat Years design, which was used from 1909 to 1958. However, the 1975 penny is a Lincoln Memorial cent, not a wheat penny, as the memorial design replaced the wheat design starting in 1959. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial Building, with the inscriptions, United States of America, at the top and 1 cent, below the memorial. Additionally, the phrase, E pluribus unum, appears above the memorial, meaning, out of many, one, symbolizing national unity. 4. Composition and physical characteristics. The 1975 1-cent coin is primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a rich reddish-brown color. It has a diameter of 19.05 mm, a thickness of 1.52 mm, and weighs 3.11 grams. This composition was standard for pennies until 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched predominantly to zinc with a thin copper plating due to rising copper prices. 5. Mint marks and production. The 1975 penny was produced at 2 U.S. Mint facilities, Philadelphia No Mint Mark and Denver D Mint Mark. Philadelphia coins are identifiable by the absence of a mint mark beneath the date, whereas Denver coins display a small D. There was no 1975's Lincoln cent, as the San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins. The mintage numbers were substantial, approximately 3.3 billion coins from Philadelphia and 1.6 billion coins from Denver, making the 1975 penny common and widely available. 6. Varieties and notable features. Collectors often look for subtle varieties in pennies, such as doubling of the date or letters known as double die or minor die cracks and errors. The 1975 penny is not known for major rare varieties, but minor error coins, like off-center strikes or weak strikes, may exist and are sought by specialized collectors. Any penny showing unusual toning or high-grade preservation is considered valuable to numismatists. 7. Circulation and usage. The 1975 penny circulated widely in everyday American life. It was used in vending machines, parking meters, and as change in transactions. Its enduring copper content gave it significant durability, allowing it to withstand years of handling without severe wear. Many coins from this era still exist in circulated condition, though uncirculated examples retain a bright copper luster and are more appealing for collectors. 8. Collectibility and value. While the 1975 penny is not particularly rare due to high mintage, collectors often seek coins in uncirculated condition, MS-60 to Mississippi 65, or proof coins, which feature a mirror-like finish. Typical circulated 1975 pennies are worth face value, 1 cent, but high-grade uncirculated coins can fetch a few dollars. Error. Varieties, though uncommon, can significantly increase value. 9. Cultural and numismatic significance. The Lincoln cent series, including the 1975 penny, is historically significant as it represents the longest-running series in U.S. coinage history featuring a single individual. The coin is a reminder of Lincoln's contributions, especially the abolition of slavery and his role during the Civil War. For collectors, it bridges the gap between the traditional copper wheat pennies and the later memorial series, reflecting over 6 decades of American history. 10. Preservation tips for collectors. To maintain the value and condition of a 1975 penny, it should be stored in a dry, cool environment away from humidity and chemicals. Collectors often use acid-free holders, coin flips, or albums to protect the coin's surface. Regular cleaning is discouraged as it can damage the natural patina and reduce the coin's numismatic value. Coins kept in pristine condition often become long-term collectibles, representing both historical and financial interest. Check mark summary. The 1975 U.S. penny is a classic piece of American coinage, featuring Lincoln's iconic portrait and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. With a primarily copper composition, high circulation, and solid historical significance, it remains a staple in coin collections and a symbol of mid-20th century American currency. The 1974 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series. This series has been in production since 1909, originally issued to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The 1974 penny was minted during a period of economic change in the United States, with the coin primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that had been standard since 1962. The coin measures 19.05 mm in diameter, weighs 3.11 grams, and has a smooth, slightly raised rim with a reeded edge. Paragraph 2 Obverse design, front. The obverse side of the 1974 penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln is facing right, with the word, Liberty, on the left and the year 1974 on the right. Above Lincoln's head, the motto, In God We Trust, is engraved. This design has remained consistent for decades, symbolizing not only Lincoln's legacy but also the enduring values of freedom, justice, and democracy. The detail in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat is finely crafted, making it easily recognizable even on coins that have circulated heavily. Paragraph 3 Reverse design, back. The reverse of the 1974 penny continues to feature the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the Lincoln Memorial appears in the center, with the words, United States of America, above and 1 cent, below. Flanking the memorial are 2 small inscriptions, E pluribus unum, representing the nation's unity. The Lincoln Memorial design on the penny is so detailed that if you look closely, miniature figures of Lincoln can be seen seated inside the memorial on the coin, a tiny artistic touch that makes this penny unique. Paragraph 4 Mint marks and production. The 1974 penny was produced at 3 U.S. mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, Denver pennies carry a, D, and San Francisco coins are marked with an S. While the Philadelphia and Denver coins were intended for circulation, the San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors. In 1974, the United States minted over 8.6 billion pennies, with the majority from Philadelphia, making it one of the most commonly encountered pennies from the 1970s. Paragraph 5 Historical context. The year 1974 was significant in American history. The country was dealing with the aftermath of the 1973 oil crisis, inflation, and political unrest following the Watergate scandal. The penny, as a small denomination coin, played a role in everyday commerce, allowing Americans to purchase items in a time when inflation was beginning to affect pricing. Despite being a small coin, the penny carried symbolic importance as a representation of the nation's history and economy. Paragraph 6 Variations and errors. Collectors often seek out pennies with unique variations or mint errors. For the 1974 Lincoln cent, some notable varieties include double die obverse errors, where the date or lettering appears doubled, and off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. These coins are rare and can carry significant value in the collector's market, especially if they remain in uncirculated condition. Other errors, such as planchet defects or die cracks, can make a 1974 penny stand out to enthusiasts. Paragraph 7 Collectibility and value. The 1974 penny is generally not rare in circulated condition due to its massive production numbers. Most circulated coins are worth face value, but uncirculated or proof coins can command higher prices. Collectors value coins with high luster, sharp details, and no scratches. A 1974 S-proof penny in pristine condition can sell for several dollars, while rare error coins may reach hundreds depending on the severity and type of error. Paragraph 8. Cultural significance. The Lincoln penny, including the 1974 issue, is more than just currency, it's a symbol of American culture and history. Abraham Lincoln, remembered for his leadership during the Civil War and his dedication to abolishing slavery, is honored on every penny. The coin serves as a tangible reminder of the nation's heritage and is often used in educational settings to teach children about U.S. history, economics, and the importance of civic values. Paragraph 9. Modern usage. Even today, the 1974 penny remains in circulation, though older coins gradually become less common due to wear. Many people keep these coins as souvenirs or for historical interest. They are lightweight, durable, and perfectly sized for everyday transactions, though there has been debate about the cost of production versus their monetary value. Regardless, the 1974 penny continues to be a collectible and a piece of living history. Paragraph 10. Conclusion. In summary, the 1974 United States 1-cent coin is a classic example of the enduring Lincoln cent series. With its copper composition, detailed obverse and reverse designs, and historical significance, it remains a favorite among collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Whether in circulation, part of a coin collection, or preserved as a proof specimen, the 1974 penny reflects the rich history of the United States and the lasting legacy of Abraham Lincoln. It's more than just a coin, it's a piece of American heritage that continues to circulate and inspire interest nearly 5 decades later. The 1983 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is a small yet significant piece of American currency. As part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909, this coin continues to honor President Abraham Lincoln. The 1983 penny is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, a change that started in 1982 due to rising copper prices, making it lighter than the older, solid copper pennies. Its official denomination is 1 cent, which represents 1/100th of a US dollar. While small in size and value, the coin carries rich history and cultural significance, serving not only as currency but also as a collectible for coin enthusiasts around the world. Design features. The obverse, or front side, of the 1983 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's portrait has appeared on the penny since 1909, commemorating the centennial of his birth. The obverse also includes the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the year, 1983, on the right. Additionally, depending on the mint, a small mint mark may appear below the year, indicating where the coin was produced. No mint mark: Philadelphia. D. Denver. S. San Francisco. The reverse, or back side, features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which had been in use since 1959. This iconic monument is a symbol of Lincoln's enduring legacy and the ideals of freedom and equality he championed. Above the Lincoln Memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," while the denomination, 1 cent, is displayed prominently at the bottom. The phrase, "E pluribus unum," meaning, "out of many, one," is also inscribed above the memorial, reflecting the unity of the nation. Composition and physical characteristics. The 1983 penny is 19.05 mm in diameter and weighs 2.5 grams. Unlike earlier pennies, which were made primarily of copper, the 1983 penny is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, with a thin copper plating. This composition gives the coin a slightly lighter feel than the older copper pennies. The edge of the coin is smooth, and its color is a bright reddish-brown, which may darken over time due to oxidation. Its smaller weight and copper-plated zinc design made production more cost-effective while maintaining the iconic look of the Lincoln cent. Minting and circulation. The 1983 penny was minted in large quantities to meet the demands of the U.S. economy. Coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with San Francisco minting primarily collector-proof sets. The Philadelphia mint produced coins without a mint mark, while the Denver mint included the D mint mark. These coins were widely circulated, making them common in everyday transactions across the country. Despite being mass-produced, the penny's design remained detailed, with fine lines visible in Lincoln's hair, beard, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Historical context. The 1983 penny emerged during a period of economic transition in the United States. Following the shift to zinc-based pennies in 1982, the 1983 cent continued the modern composition while maintaining the traditional design that Americans had long associated with the Lincoln penny. The 1980s were a time of economic recovery, inflation, and increasing technological change, yet the penny remained a stable symbol of everyday commerce and national heritage. Collectors often view the 1983 penny as part of the modern era of U.S. coins, reflecting both innovation in materials and continuity in design. Collectability and value. Although the 1983 penny is not considered rare, it holds value for collectors due to its historical context and minting variations. Coins in uncirculated condition or those that were part of proof sets from the San Francisco Mint can command slightly higher prices. Key factors that affect its collectability include condition. Mint state coins are more valuable. Mint mark. Proof coins are more desirable than regular circulation coins. Errors. Some 1983 pennies may have minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, which can make them particularly valuable to collectors. Despite its low face value, the 1983 penny remains a fascinating collectible for numismatists, as it represents a turning point in the U.S. penny's composition and design evolution. Fun facts. The 1983 penny was part of the first full year of zinc-based pennies after the transition in 1982. Even though the coin is small, it has appeared in countless cultural references, advertisements, and coin collections over the decades. Lincoln is the only U.S. president to have his portrait continuously on a circulating coin for more than a century. Millions of 1983 pennies are still in circulation today, often found in wallets, coin jars, and banks, a testament to their durability and ubiquity. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1983 United States penny is more than just a 1-cent coin. It represents American history, ingenuity, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. From its finely detailed design to its modern zinc-based composition, the 1983 penny is both a piece of currency and a collector's treasure. Whether for everyday transactions, historical interest, or numismatic value, this coin captures the story of a nation, connecting past and present through a simple yet iconic piece of metal. The 1988 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is a small but historically significant coin in American currency. Minted during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, this coin is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been in continuous production since 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse front of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained largely unchanged for over a century and is one of the most recognized images in U.S. coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," a motto that has appeared on all U.S. coins since 1864. To the left of the portrait is the word, "Liberty," and to the right, the coin's mintage year, 1988, is stamped, indicating the year it was produced. Depending on the mint, the coin may also feature a small mint mark under the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. The reverse back of the 1988 penny displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This memorial design was created by Frank Gasparo, and it depicts the full-scale Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., complete with intricate architectural details. At the center of the memorial, the statue of Lincoln can be faintly seen, a subtle but notable feature for collectors. The inscriptions, "United States of America," appear above the memorial, while "E Pluribus Unum" is engraved above it, reflecting the nation's motto, "Out of many, one." At the bottom, the denomination, 1 cent, is clearly marked. In terms of composition, the 1988 penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, continuing the traditional makeup used since 1962. This composition gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown color, though circulation can cause it to darken over time. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and weighs 3.11 grams, maintaining the standard size and weight of modern pennies. Its smooth edge and uniform size make it easily distinguishable from other U.S. coins. From a historical perspective, the 1988 penny was minted during a period of significant economic and cultural change in the United States. Though the coin's value is only 1 cent, it carries rich symbolic meaning, representing both Abraham Lincoln's legacy and the enduring stability of U.S. coinage. Coin collectors often seek the 1988 penny in uncirculated condition or with specific mint marks, as some coins from Denver and San Francisco have slight variations in color and strike that can make them more desirable. While it is not considered a rare coin, its longevity and historical significance make it an interesting addition to any collection. The 1988 penny also reflects technological advances in coin production. By the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint had improved its striking techniques, producing coins with sharper details and more consistent finishes. This era also saw increased attention to coin preservation, with many collectors storing pennies in protective holders to maintain their original luster. Moreover, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, used from 1959 until 2008, served as a teaching tool, subtly educating the public about American history and architecture. In modern times, the 1988 penny is often admired not for its monetary value but for its historical and aesthetic significance. It represents a link in the continuous lineage of Lincoln cents, connecting generations from 1909 to the present. Whether found in a pocket, a coin roll, or a collector's album, the 1988 penny embodies over a century of American numismatic history, illustrating the intersection of art, history, and commerce in a small, humble coin. For those passionate about coins, examining the fine details of Lincoln's portrait, the inscriptions, and the Lincoln Memorial can offer a fascinating glimpse into the craftsmanship and symbolism embedded in everyday money. In summary, the 1988 United States 1-cent coin is a perfect example of enduring American coin design. With its Brenner-designed obverse, Gasparro-designed reverse, high-quality copper-zinc composition, and subtle historical importance, it remains a collectible piece that offers insight into U.S. culture, history, and numismatic art. Though small and often overlooked in daily transactions, this penny represents the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, making it a cherished item for both casual collectors and serious numismatists alike. The 1998 United States 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the penny, is part of the long-standing Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. The coin is composed primarily of zinc, with a thin copper plating, a composition that has been standard since 1982. Measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter and weighing 2.5 grams, it remains a small yet iconic piece of American currency. This coin continues the tradition of featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a tribute to the 16th President of the United States, whose legacy of leadership and dedication to the principles of liberty has resonated throughout American history. On the obverse front side, the coin features a detailed portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," reflecting the national motto. To the left of the portrait is the word, "Liberty," and on the right, the year of mintage, 1998, is clearly displayed. The precision of Brenner's design has remained largely unchanged, showcasing Lincoln's solemn yet dignified expression, symbolizing wisdom and moral strength. Over the years, small refinements have been made to enhance the coin's production quality, but the essence of the original engraving remains intact, making it instantly recognizable to collectors and everyday users alike. The reverse-backed side of the 1998 penny features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial depiction is remarkably detailed, showing the columns and the statue of Lincoln seated inside. Above the memorial are the words, "United States of America," while "E pluribus unum" appears just above the memorial in smaller letters. Below the image, the denomination is spelled out as 1 cent. This reverse design remained in use until 2008, when it was replaced with the Lincoln bicentennial designs in 2009. The memorial reverse serves not only as a symbol of the nation's respect for Lincoln but also as a representation of American ideals of unity and democracy. From a production standpoint, the 1998 penny was minted in two locations, the Philadelphia Mint No Mint Mark and the Denver Mint with a D Mint Mark. Each facility followed rigorous standards to ensure the coin's dimensions, weight, and metallic composition met strict federal requirements. The 1998 Lincoln cent continues the tradition of durable, everyday coins that can withstand extensive circulation, yet remain collectible due to variations in minting and condition. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can hold special value for numismatists, particularly those seeking a complete Lincoln cent collection from the 1990s. In terms of historical and cultural significance, the Lincoln penny represents more than just currency. It serves as a small, portable reminder of Abraham Lincoln's contributions to American history, including his leadership during the Civil War and the abolition of slavery. Collectors often note that the penny's enduring design bridges modern America with its historical past, offering a tangible connection to the ideals of freedom, perseverance, and national unity. Additionally, pennies like the 1998 edition have been a part of everyday life for decades, used in transactions, savings, and as objects of curiosity for children and adults alike. The 1998 Lincoln cent is also interesting from a technological perspective. The post-1982 zinc-based composition makes it lighter and more cost-effective to produce than its pre-1982 copper counterparts, while still maintaining the familiar appearance and color of traditional pennies. The thin copper plating over the zinc core gives the coin its reddish-golden hue, which is prone to developing a natural patina over time. Coins that remain uncirculated for decades often retain a brilliant luster, while circulated coins slowly acquire a soft, darker tone, which many collectors find appealing for its vintage character. Finally, the 1998 penny holds numismatic interest not only for its design but also for its place in the late 20th century American economy. During the 1990s, the penny was widely used in daily transactions, yet it was increasingly scrutinized for its cost of production relative to its face value. Despite debates over discontinuing the penny, coins like the 1998 Lincoln cent continue to circulate and serve as enduring symbols of American heritage. Whether examined for historical context, artistic design, or minting technology, the 1998 1-cent coin remains a fascinating piece of the United States monetary story. The 1976 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, holds a special place in American coinage history. This coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1976 penny is composed primarily of copper, making it not only a functional currency but also a small piece of art and history that tells the story of America's economy, culture, and heritage during the 1970s. Physical specifications. The 1976 penny has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and weighs approximately 3.11 grams. It features a smooth edge, making it easily recognizable by touch. The coin's composition in 1976 was 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition had been standard for pennies since 1962, after slight changes in earlier decades due to fluctuations in metal prices. The coin's size and metal composition reflect the careful balance between durability, practicality, and the availability of raw materials for mass production. Obverse front design. The obverse of the 1976 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile faces right, showcasing his distinguished facial features and iconic beard. Surrounding Lincoln are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," along the top edge, "Liberty," to the left, and the minting year, 1976, to the right. This design has remained largely unchanged since 1909, symbolizing the enduring respect for Lincoln and his legacy in American history. Reverse back design. The reverse design of the 1976 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, an image that was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The memorial is depicted in fine detail, including the columns and steps leading up to the structure. Within the memorial, tiny engravings of Lincoln's seated statue can be seen. Above the memorial is the phrase, "United States of America," while the denomination, 1 cent, is inscribed below. The motto, E pluribus unum, appears between the memorial and the top inscription, reminding collectors and users of the coin's connection to the nation's unity. Mint marks and variations. The 1976 penny was minted at two primary facilities, Philadelphia No Mint Mark and Denver D Mint Mark. There are no known rare or error coins from this year that significantly impact collectors' value, although well-preserved specimens in uncirculated condition are always sought after. Coins from 1976 in mint state condition are more valuable than their circulated counterparts, making them appealing to coin collectors and hobbyists. Historical context. The 1976 penny was minted during a significant period in American history, the year of the United States bicentennial. While the 1 cent coin did not have a special bicentennial design, that honor went to quarters, half dollars, and dollars. The year itself makes these coins historically interesting. The United States in 1976 was celebrating 200 years of independence, and coins from this year reflect the stability of the American economy and the continuation of Lincoln's enduring legacy. The economy was facing challenges with inflation, energy crises, and shifts in global markets, yet the penny remained a staple of everyday transactions. Collectability. For collectors, the 1976 penny is not extremely rare, but its age, condition, and historical context make it an appealing addition to a Lincoln cent collection. Uncirculated coins, proof coins, and coins with unique toning or mint errors may fetch higher prices. Collectors often look for coins with sharp detail on Lincoln's beard, clear inscriptions, and minimal wear on the Lincoln Memorial. While a circulated 1976 penny is worth face value, a perfect mint condition coin can be worth a few dollars or more depending on the market. Fun facts. The 1976 penny, like other Lincoln cents, is small enough to carry easily but large enough to display fine details of Lincoln's portrait and the memorial. Copper in the coin has a distinctive reddish-brown color that develops a rich patina over time. Lincoln is the first U.S. president to appear on a regular issue coin, and this series has lasted for over a century, showing its lasting cultural significance. Conclusion. The 1976 United States 1 cent coin is more than just a piece of currency, it is a small ambassador of American history. From its iconic depiction of Abraham Lincoln to the detailed Lincoln Memorial on its reverse, this coin represents both artistry and heritage. Collectors, historians, and casual observers alike appreciate its place in American numismatic history. Whether kept as part of a collection, used in everyday transactions, or admired for its historical significance, the 1976 penny continues to tell the story of a nation proud of its past and hopeful for its future. The 1965 United States 1 cent coin, commonly referred to as the penny, holds a unique place in American numismatic history. It is a representative piece of everyday American currency, yet it also reflects a time of significant changes in coin production and economic considerations. This coin is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been in continuous production since 1909. The series originally commemorated the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and marked the first time a U.S. president was featured on a regular issue circulating coin. By 1965, the Lincoln cent had already gone through more than half a century of circulation, embodying not just monetary value but also historical significance. The obverse side of the 1965 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln is depicted in a right-facing profile, emphasizing his dignified and thoughtful demeanor. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1965, to the right of Lincoln's image. This design remained unchanged for decades, serving as a consistent symbol of American ideals and national pride. Collectors often note the sharpness of the relief and the quality of the strike, which can vary depending on the mint. The reverse side of the coin in 1965 features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which replaced the original wheat ears reverse that had been used from 1909 to 1958. The Lincoln Memorial design shows a detailed representation of the iconic structure in Washington, D.C., which houses the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln. The words, "United States of America," arch across the top, with "E pluribus unum" engraved above the memorial. At the bottom of the coin is the denomination, 1 cent. Notably, the Lincoln Memorial design includes a small but precise depiction of Lincoln's statue within the memorial arches, which is only visible under close inspection. This detail made the reverse design particularly admired by coin enthusiasts. In 1965, the penny was composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, as the U.S. Mint had not yet experimented with the steel pennies of 1943 or the modern zinc-coated varieties used later. This copper content gives the coin a warm reddish-brown hue, which can develop a beautiful patina over time. The coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, dimensions that remained standard for Lincoln cents of the era. The coin's thickness and metal composition make it durable for circulation, yet it is soft enough to show wear over decades, which often adds character to collectible specimens. The 1965 penny was minted only at the Philadelphia Mint, as the San Francisco Mint did not produce circulation strikes that year. Proof coins from San Francisco were available separately. Coins from Philadelphia in this year do not carry a mint mark, which is typical for Philadelphia-struck coins of that period. Production in 1965 saw over 2.6 billion pennies struck, reflecting the nation's economic activity during the mid-1960s. These coins were intended primarily for everyday transactions, from purchasing groceries to paying for small services, making them a ubiquitous element of American daily life. From a numismatic perspective, the 1965 Lincoln cent is generally common, but collectors often examine coins from this year for varieties and errors. Some notable considerations include variations in strike strength, doubling on letters or numerals, and minor planchette imperfections. Coins with a deep, lustrous original finish and sharp details are more desirable, while heavily circulated pennies show the expected wear, with smooth edges and a faded Lincoln Memorial design. Despite being common, these coins are valued for their historical context and place in the continuum of U.S. coinage history. Historically, the year 1965 was significant in the United States. It was a time of social and economic change, with the civil rights movement reaching a peak and major legislation, such as the Voting Rights Act, being passed in the following year. The coins of this period, including the penny, were not just currency but also cultural artifacts, representing a tangible connection to the daily life and economy of mid-20th century America. In collecting terms, the 1965 penny serves as an accessible entry point for new numismatists. Its long circulation means it is easy to find in coin rolls, yet variations in condition can make the pursuit of high-grade examples challenging and rewarding. Collectors often prefer coins with original color, minimal scratches, and no signs of cleaning, which can diminish their value. The coin's enduring design and historical significance make it a staple in collections of Lincoln cents, U.S. pennies, and general American coinage. Finally, the 1965 Lincoln cent continues to be appreciated for its combination of historical importance, aesthetic appeal, and everyday relevance. Whether found in a dusty drawer, a coin roll, or a carefully preserved collection, this penny represents more than 1 cent. It embodies over half a century of American history, artistry in coin design, and the enduring legacy of one of the nation's greatest presidents. For both casual holders and serious collectors, the 1965 penny is a small but powerful symbol of the United States' rich numismatic tradition.